Hey, welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. If you love Final Fantasy, video games, CG, and anime, well, you're probably going to really enjoy this movie that I watched. It's called Gantz O, or maybe Gantz Zero. And so this is actually based upon a manga in Japan, and it was made into a full-length CG movie. Now, the reason why I bring up Final Fantasy is anybody who's ever played Final Fantasy on, modern consoles that had a lot of CG movies, if you remember. And as a matter of fact, one of the first really realistic CG movies was actually Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within, and that came out in like 1997, if I remember correctly. And this movie is very, very reminiscent in terms of the looks to Final Fantasy. Now, if you've never watched like a CG anime, it's a lot different than what you see for the US anime, because the Japanese audience, they really prefer more like realistic look. So a lot of the anime that does use CG, full CG like this, it looks extremely realistic. And so when you're watching this, once again, it reminds me so much of Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy, the CG, it's more of a realistic take on things, okay? And so this is something that I really found that I enjoyed about it. In terms of the way the CG looked, it looks really, really good, okay? I mean, these characters look very realistic. They look very human, even though everything's artificial. And so the look of the movie really, really looks cool, Now, the actual story itself, like I said, if you love video games, you will really enjoy this, because it's basically like watching a video game, okay? So I'm not going to get into too many details of it, because it really will spoil some of the, I guess, the surprise elements of the movie, and there are some surprise elements. However, just imagine you playing a video game and you would get a sense of what this is, or just watching a Final Fantasy CG cutscene. So it's very similar to that. And so with that being said, there's not really a lot of depth to the actual story itself. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're really expecting a lot of storyline, then this is probably not the movie that you're going to enjoy. Okay, however, like I said, if you love video games, Final Fantasy and CG, then this is something that you're really, really gonna enjoy. And there's also like many types of monsters in this particular movie as well. And so if you like big monster battles, Godzilla, Ganji, and stuff like that, there's actually some pretty cool scenes with that as well. Very, very action heavy. And so this movie really focuses on the action elements of it. So yeah, so if you love the action aspect of anime, then you will really enjoy this as well. I'll keep going back to the same things because I really don't know how else to explain this movie. And the actual movie, it really focuses on three main characters and some other secondary characters as well. So that's pretty much it for Gantz O, or Gantz Zero. It's probably Gantz O. It is a really slick looking anime, CG anime. I did enjoy it for what it was, and it's something a little different. I mean, if I'm watching anime or anything Japanese related, I really prefer actually watching the traditional animation, and I'm not the biggest fan of the CG animation. However, the Japanese do it really, really well. So yeah, if you are interested in that type of stuff, check it out. It is on Netflix. And if you had any other CG related Japanese anime that you enjoy, be sure to leave it in the comments area below. And as always, if you did get a lot of value out of these videos, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you wanted to support my channel further, you could do that at patreon.com/geekoutdoors. All that information is in the description area below. See you in the episode. Thanks for checking out this episode. And as always, if you like these videos, be sure to click on the subscribe button. And for full written content, audio content, and additional geek stuff, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I'll see you outdoors on the very next episode.